Good morning, guys. How on a day? What's popping? So, real quick, what have I learned so far? I have learned that there's no real mentorship for liberation for African people. You know, over our generations, everybody that has stood up for the people of this country, or for black people anywhere in the world, for African people anywhere in the world, has been an enemy of the state. To stand for African people is to stand against the state. Anywhere you are from, you know, whether you are from Nigeria, whether you are from South Africa, whether you are from America, if you stand, whether you are from Europe, if you're on the side of black people, you are automatically against the state. So many of our heroes were killed, exiled, so they are not around for us to build on their platform. You understand? Why European leadership is so strong, why Asian leadership since Mao is so strong, is because they've been able to build on centuries of leadership. You know what I'm saying? They've been able to build on that, and we do not have that. That's what I've just realized, and we have to be that for ourselves. This makes this period one of the most exciting periods ever. We have to be that for ourselves, and it's exciting. It's not something to be scared of. It's not something to make you back down. It's not something to make you run away, right? Now something supposed to make us wake up. The way we get excited, say we won't go club, or say we're excited, say we don't meet one new guy or one new babe, you understand? Or when we just collect money for the first time and won't buy one new tea, that kind of excitement. This is something new that we're about to get, that we're about to own. Do you guys feel that same excitement? Okay, so real quick, I'll touch on some of the basic things that I just wanted to share, you know. I just wanted to share that part, you know, with the people, you know, like, I'm fucking excited, man. I don't know about you guys, but it's really sweet me, and I think we should not back down. We don't feel back down. We have to take it to the next level, and the next level, and the next level after that, you know. One good correlation we're supposed to draw is from APC, actually. You see, in 2012, when the APC politicians begin support, what will they do? They put their money behind them and everything. We they young, we don't see the big picture. Many people, because I did, I'm not going to lie, because I still call people then. I said, I'll call us now again. I call people then, say, let's capture this energy for ourselves. Let's capture this energy for the people, you know. But, you know, everybody do anyhow. They let these people capture the energy. So, 2012 to 2015 was 3 years, right? So now from 2012 to 2015, 3 years. Now we did 2020, 2023, 3 years. You understand? So if we play our card right, we won't get blueprints. Oh, we follow, bang, 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 all the way to power, legitimate power. Now the number one thing is this: many people have said we should go and negotiate, right? Me, I don't believe there's anything to negotiate. Honestly, I believe we should give terms. Because we've won already. A government is not a government if it's not a government of its people. And the people have shown this government that they are no longer on their side. So the government has already been defeated socially. You have socially defeated the government. So if we're going to talk to them now, which is also a social term, we're going to meet with them, it has to be to give them terms. The terms of their surrender. Social surrender, because politically they will have to surrender in 2023. They're going to surrender at the polls, whether they like it or not. They're going to politically surrender in 2023. Now, They say we have to pick some of us to go and negotiate with the government. I don't see why we need to pick some special Negroes, some special blacks. Again, we've been doing this shit forever. All African people are special. You know how I know all African people are special? Because they come and talk to us when they need our votes. They don't come and talk to some special Africans. All these politicians you see sitting there in Abuja, when they are looking for their votes, they come to the people. They come. So they can hold these meetings with the people, to the way they hold meetings to win your votes. You don't need to send any representative. Give yourself, you are special. Why are they cherry picking? Why are they looking for special African Negroes that they will draw among themselves as they did before, among us? Many of the people that led 2012 are all working for APC government today. When I know Gokamu, when I know be Mugu, because people don't they form Mugu again. Don't they form Mugu? How many people in 2012 are working for government today? Can you count them? How many of them have contract from these same oppressors that we are fighting? Can you count them? Can you count them? So that's the first thing I've learned, that we are all special. If now only means stand for that place, they don't come bundle me. I'm special there because all of you are there. Do you understand? If now only Nigerian celebrities go stand and influencers, you and the people no come join us, in 1 week they will have come to pack all of us away from there. We are only special because you are there with us. You understand what I'm saying? We have over 400 senators sitting down, over 700 and another amount of representatives sitting down there. They all have constituency. What are they doing in Abuja? What can they leave that place and go to their constituency and start discussing with the people? Osibanjo came to Shrine during celebration of 2019 when they were doing election. Abi, when we were looking for your vote, you know, come celebration. Even though I refused to go there that day because he was there. For reasons best known to me, but you don't need to go into that. He came now, didn't he come to Shrine? Now I can't come to Alausa to talk to protesters. To tell us what's up. Let's talk to them. You know, that's the number one thing I've learned. That none of us are special. It is all of us that are special. And it's all of us that they have to talk to. It's all of us they have to come to terms with. Not just some special Negroes. I'm tired of that. That's the oppression we are talking about. These special Negro antics. The people will pick leaders. We will pick leader of leaders. You know, we are all leaders, but we'll pick the leader. But that time hasn't come. Don't force us to move at your pace. Don't force us to move at your pace, man. People, they put my name for one kind list. They try to. I'm not on any list. Me, I don't even want to run for any political office. I want to be part of a party that will influence the politicians that will change this country. That's what me I want. I want to be part of something. Me, I'm not hungry for power. I don't need it. I have a great job. But I want to share ideas with those that are there. I want us to be from the same club, the same party. That's what me I want. So I want to put them there. This party of equals will be able to hold them to the fire. They are fit to the fire if they fall off. Me, I don't even believe that it's only youth that can save Nigeria. The solution to it is all peoples, old, young, men, women, you know, successful, unsuccessful, unemployed, and all of us with the real love of Africa in our hearts. You understand? It's going to take all of us. There's no ageism. There's no sexism. There's no tribalism. No ethnic. Just freedom, bro. So that's the first thing when I want to talk about when I hear all this, negotiate with some people, negotiate, pick your negotiate. If this government, is time for you to relate. This is what we are saying. We want to change this relationship. That we feel, see, our government, they are willing to travel thousands of miles to go and do meeting with one Oyibo man. And do yes sir, yes sir. Your people are here. You don't want to see them. You cannot travel 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 100 kilometers. 50. You cannot travel. You are too big You feel too big to relate. You feel the Nigerian people are too stupid. This is the problem. So now, this is moving me straight to the second point. I did 2 speeches already. I speak for front of Alausa. I reach Allen Avenue. They put me on top of car. Make I talk again. I did a little speech. Okay. We can't reach Express again. They say I can't talk to the people again. I say, okay, but when are we going to hear from the people? Only when they talk every day, only when they do show for stage. Nobody is listening to the people. This is the second thing I've learned. The people have to be given chance to talk. 2 minutes. This is what a rally is. This is what politics is. That's why I say we are learning. Nigerian people are not stupid. Nigerian people have wisdom. The solution to all the problems of this country is in that crowd. So, when we are doing this, why are we not talking to, why are we not letting the people speak? Why are we letting special people speak? I don't get it. Let the people speak. And they can't want your Soros okay. Soros okay, weary. We have to let the people speak. Because we are ending oppression. We are not trying to modify oppression. All this reform I'm hearing, you cannot reform oppression, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot reform oppression. Can you hear me in the back? You have to end oppression. There's no reforming this business that we are in. If there was a reform, if there was reforming, it would have been done. What the oppressors are looking for and their supporters is a perfection of oppression. And there cannot be a perfection of oppression. There can't be that. There can't be that. What we need is an upending, a total overhaul of the system to give us the solutions and the outcomes that we need. So from Monday, when we announce the venue of our rally is going to be at the Shrine, you know, hopefully, I want it to be on Monday, latest Tuesday. We're going to announce. I want the people to come out and speak. I'm going to put a mic there and I'm going to record all this, all of you, 2 minutes. Everybody that comes to my rally will speak on the stage. That's what we'll be doing all day, listening to ourselves. This will not be music. This is the beginning of something else. If you feel that there's something else that must come after this, this is what we are talking about. 2 minutes, everybody will come, and I'm going to record everything for the few days that we're going to be there doing it. And I promise all of you that with your words, I will create a political document that will represent all of us, that will represent those aspirations, those wishes, those dreams, and I will send it to everybody, articulate it to the world. There will be no perfection of oppression. There can't be. It has never been done. It will never be done. And that is the only... we should learn from our cousins in America. They've been reforming their oppression since the 1800s. They've reformed lynching in America to the extent that lynching now happens live on camera. It happens live on camera for the world to see. We have to listen to the people. We are not listening to the people. We are behaving like our government. We, the so-called no leaders of the movement. We must allow the people to speak. Are we not tired of hearing our own voices? Let everybody come out and share their mind. The question is this: why are you here? That's all we need to ask the people. Why are you here? You have 2 minutes. Express it with words. Express it with action. In dance. In whatever. But for 2 minutes, let us know why you are here. And let us record it. Let us save it. Now, number 3. What is the third thing I've learned? I've learned that our demands are too weak. Our demands are too weak. I'm sorry. Because at the end of it, when I read the demands, the 5 for 5, you see, because that's why I reached out in the beginning. You know, but for some reason, nobody reached out to me again. They only said, they just started sending me communiques of what they've decided. And me, I carry people along. I don't drag people along. So nobody can drag me along on anything. You know. So that's a no-no for me. You know. Don't drag me along. Kushele. Can't happen. You have to carry me along. Because we, the people of Nigeria, we have already stopped police brutality. We have stopped it because I don't believe that Nigerian people will stand outside again and watch any policeman brutalize anybody on the streets. I talk out for the protest. We go beat you. Oha. We will beat you up. We've ended that. So what I'm seeing basically is that we are fighting for police to live better life. So there are two things about that is just bullshit that cannot even happen. You understand? One is that police people are adults. Army are adults. All these security forces, they are adults, grown-up men and women. If you are working in a company and you don't like the company, you can quit and you can strike. And if you don't want to quit or strike, you can also join this protest by yourself to let them know you are not happy. It is not the duty of Nigerian people to fight for police to have better salary. If police don't like their salary and their welfare, let them strike and protest. What are we talking here? Who is fighting for police to have better salary? Yala your salary police. You know, say now SARS na police brutality from start for this country. Now SARS bomb my papa house. Listen, that must change. Oh, my father told me, and I held it to my. He said the day they were burning his house and beating him and all his wives to nearly death. He said 60,000 Nigerians, 60,000 of you people surrounded the thing and were watching. Nobody did anything, and that's what we are changing now. Who is fighting for police to have better salary? Let them fight for themselves. They are adults. We are fighting for ourselves. Let them fight for themselves. Which kind of police welfare? You know, better for police welfare. If police don't like in welfare, strike, join protest. You are an adult. You can't play both sides this time. No playing on both sides. Which kind of movement, which kind of demand be that one? Secondly, increasing police salary will not stop police corruption. Let me repeat it if you cannot hear it, if you are at the back. Increasing police salary will never stop police corruption. This thing is starting to sound like and look like to me like some people are only trying to stop the thing that is affecting them in police. Okay? Because SARS now they beat people who get bends. You believe say your bends don't elevate you past poor man. You're not supposed to face police brutality. So SARS, they brutalize you. Now that won't concern you for the problem of Nigeria. Because that's what I'm hearing. You are negotiating with police. That's what I'm hearing. No, this is not about that. This is about all those things about police that affect all of us. As SARS, they collect person who get bans. That's what area boy every day when they work for NURTW. They collect money for market woman every day. Okada rider hand every day. Bus drivers hand every day. Conductors hand every day. School children hand every day. Everybody is being extorted at every level in this country every day. Small children, they put load for their head. Their parents, they extort them. And they go, they work for streets every day. Higher salary cannot end corruption in police. If money they stop corruption, why our politicians still the thief? If more money is the solution to corruption, it's just supposed to be one single criminal in Nigerian politics. Answer that question before you are making useless demands. So nobody can drag me along. Even though we're only 100 that will come to my own rally, let's be the 100 that want to do something serious. Let us be, if it's only 20 of us, let's be the 20 that want to politicize this movement for the people. Because what I'm hearing here is a negotiation between elites. That's what I'm seeing here. A negotiation between political elites and social elites. This is what I'm seeing here. I beg, this is not about Buhari must go. This is about ending oppression. If Buhari go, we won't put there, we're going to go continue rubbish. People never even be like Buhari, they're already oppressing everybody. So we need to get ourselves, we need to get our acts right. We cannot betray the people. See, people have come out because they believe in us. They believe in what we stand for. We must help them articulate. We must help them. We must bring out their voices. The poor has been silenced for too long. I want to hear your voice. Now, the Yemen, I no fear when I announce my rally. That day is a day of hearing your voice. On behalf of all the people that have died today, yesterday, those ones that have died for us to be here. See, I tell people like, the sacrifice of a Lumumba, I'm sorry, this might offend some Christians, is greater to me than the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Because see, Jesus Christ, he knew he was going to wake up in 3 days after he died for you. He knew he would wake up. And I'm sorry, if I know say I will wake up in 3 days, maybe death will not be so difficult. But you see, the people that died for me, Lumumba, Sankara, my father, the people that were destroyed, Nkrumah, Steve Biko, these people died and they knew they were never going to wake up, but they still went to die. And that is what I stand on. That kind of sacrifice, fam. Now, for the last thing I noticed, my people said they fear too much. But me, I also don't say, now where the people stand, the power day. We no fear your army, man. Now where the people stand, there the power day. Make you call your policeman. Listen, people. We cannot be afraid anymore. So on Saturday, they attacked the protest again. Before I got to the place, I was walking there. People were running. What are you running from? Nobody could tell me where they were running from. They were just running helter-skelter. But now discovered that the police was running too. So he said that was the plan. They sent some small boys in the middle of the protest. These small boys did some... The police now first run. So as the police run, the people had to run too. They were so scared. But we cannot be running anymore. Especially when you have not seen what is chasing you. The people that were fighting the boys were fighting them in the front and they fought them away. They chased them. They chased them. This movement is to end oppression. I tell people, end SARS is a slogan. It's not a mission. It's our slogan. And everything we like, that will be add for the front of that end. In fact, end high rent. End high rent. End child abuse. End domestic workers abuse. End it all. End all oppression. It's a slogan. Our mission is liberation. Our mission is liberation, ladies and gentlemen. Only thing we say now is just a slogan. We must liberate ourselves from the hand of these people. The wealth of this country must be redistributed. Redistributed into our schools, redistributed into our hospitals, redistributed into our roads, redistributed into research and development that will create modern jobs that will meet the potential of this modern generation. Redistributed into housing so our people are not on the street and one man has only him has 100 houses or in Nigeria alone, another 50 in Europe, another 20 in America. Only you dey craze. You dey mad. And when they talk say NSAS, like say, if they give us NSAS, we're happy. Is that why we are here? Of all the things happening in this country, in fact, is police beating us on the street is the least of our problem. Kilo shale gongo, shaya wireni. It's okay now. Now what's in their mind be that? Where did they lead you now? Everybody they give you a slogan. See, people that only share slogan with you are also oppressors. They cannot only share slogan with you. They must share the vision with you. Anybody that feels too big to share vision with you is an oppressor. I'm telling you, because oppressor hate dialogue. You want to negotiate, but he hate dialogue because negotiation is an exchange, you understand, of interest. Not exchange of idea. Negotiation is exchange of interest, not exchange of idea. And that's why they only want to negotiate also with their peers. They never want to negotiate with those under them. You understand this? We have to see the big picture. We have to understand what is going on. We have to understand their mind. Me, I've done the work. I've studied them. They've decimated my family, so we know them well. We face them. We face them the way nobody has faced them single-handedly in this country. So we know them well. We know what's going on in their heads. They have dehumanized us for so long, they believe we are all animals. We have to prove to them that we are humans. It is not their job to secure our humanity. It is our own job to secure it. So please, as from today, when they come, no matter what they come with, don't run. Stand your ground. Just don't run. At least let something happen before you run. Let them shoot. Let somebody fall near you. Let something hit you, you know. At least let something happen. Let us not be those ones that run for nothing. If they send the army out, everybody don't fear army already. Army say they are doing cyberspace program. Everybody say army is coming. Army, which kind of fear be that? At least, are you too afraid to even read the article? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new dawn. This is our time. I've been working in NRM since 2014. Hoping that I will get the resources to be able to educate Nigerians, to wake them up like this. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've been trying to spending money, going around, going to do evangelism. I don't know if you've seen me in your area before with my people. The ancestor station, go and sit down. Go and sit down. We are not ready. When we are ready, go and, me, I get stressed. One day, ancestors wake everybody up. One day, everybody is awake in this country. When will they fight the boys who come for the Alausa? Not only youth fight them, elders come out with stick. Come, this is not youth. No, do ageism. It's all of us against them. It's the people against the government, against the politicians, against the oppressors. You think your oppressor is only in politics? You think your oppressor is now your oppressor? They say you now they benefit from the high tariff of now government. They increase not be as a when government they run electric is low. Private sector collect electric. It begin go up every day. Anything private sector touch, private sector banking. Can you count the amount of charges that they charge you? Can you count the charges? Private school. Can you count it, the amount? Can you have? So this is what they are doing. The Nigerian elites have a way to find solution to their problem. No public school, right? No public school, build private. No public housing, build private. No light, buy gen, private. You don't understand? So now there's police brutality. They want to remove only the one we consign them. But make NURTW, see they oppress bus drivers. Make police checkpoints, see they for town. They slap poor people. And now we still want overhaul. Then we there here for, ladies and gentlemen. So short. Those are the three things where I noticed. So quick recap. Say, Sorry, this my dog is inside. Oh yeah, outside. Outside. I like Bon Raja. Sorry, my dog is very stubborn. You know, so yeah. Quick recap. If I remember correctly, the first point being the so-called picking special leader among us to go and talk. I don't want to be a part of that. Nobody should call me again. Nobody should call me again. Please leave me alone. I don't want to negotiate or talk to anybody. They should come and talk to the people the way they talk to the people when they need their votes. African people are intelligent. They can speak for themselves. The preconceived notion that and the prejudiced notion of us being stupid is a lie. Even Area Boy has his own intelligence. Trust me. Listen to him. At least he can tell you about Tautri. You don't know about Togri like him. About Tautin. 2. We all have a voice. And it's time that we begin to exercise that voice. And it's time that we believe that we own the platform, allow people to exercise it. 3, I will be the one to say, I don't agree with the demand. The demands need to be more, needs to be better, and needs to be pro-people. We are not starting Nigeria by giving police good welfare. Say, that's not our first demand. Which kind of first demand be that one? Our first demand must benefit us, the people. NRM and its affiliates will come up with our own core demands at our rally. We'll release it online before also, to carry people along. And yeah, let's start this. Let's begin to build something for us. This is the next step. Before we say we are tired, before we leave the protest site, if we do not have a political document, then we have failed. No matter what you think we achieve in their negotiation, if we, the people, do not come up with our own political document at the end of this, then we have failed. Thank you very much.